This is an excerpt from the Irish Demon live show. If you want to check out the live show, make sure and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you'll be notified when they come up. All right, let's get stuck into the first video. So this first one is quite something. Here goes.
Diego. I am an artist. I paint.
Oh yeah, so I had to edit it for obvious reasons. You guys know. Drop the word in the side chat. The word of why I had to edit this.
I write and I live in the United States of America, and I have been here for about 15 years. I don't know much about the laws or anything related to the police.
Well, congratulations. After reading the trifold, you know less. Great job. We're off to a blinding start.
License and registration. Thank you very much. Where are you going?
Officer, I have the right to remain silent. When I get pulled over by the police, I don't understand anything about the laws. I don't understand anything about, the police system. So when I get pulled over and they ask me a question, basically all the answers are here.
What am I reading? You have the right to remain silent? But you're not under arrest. I'm not arresting you. I'm asking you just where you're headed. Where you going?
It's right there. You can read it. It's right there.
Are you nervous? Is that something? You need medical attention?
Not at all.
Why would you choose to remain silent? I'm just asking you where you're going.
I have the right to remain silent, officer. It's all right there. I'm here alone.
Okay, so somebody raises a really good point here. This comes from Pat Dalliger, says, impersonating a cop again. What say you in the side chat? Would you consider this to actually be impersonating a cop, or is it kind of fair enough? So like for me, I would say if it's clearly acting, which I mean, I use that term very, very loosely. If it's clearly acting, I don't see that it is really impersonation of a police officer. It'd be a different story if he was going out on the road, actually pulling people over, or, like actually wanting to be a cop. It does seem that the vast majority of people seem to think that he's not impersonating a police officer. Darcy reckons he is impersonating a police officer. I guess it just depends. Oshin the Rottweiler says no, he's acting, and I tend to agree there. I think it's clearly that he's doing it as an act, again, very, very, very bad acting, much like the Nutella situation. But yeah, no, I do think he is acting essentially. But anyway, moving on.
Hello. I moved here when I was 19 years old. I get pulled over time, and it's always very scary to get pulled over, especially as an immigrant. The presence of a police officer in your life as an immigrant in the United States, it's not pleasant.
Right, but you're not under arrest or anything. This is just a traffic stop. Where are you going?
You can read this, officer.
You're not being a witness against yourself. I'm just asking you where you're going. Is everything... Where are you going?
I have the right to remain silent, officer.
It sounds like you got an accent. You're not from here. Where are you from?
If they ask me something I don't have to answer, I can just tell them to read this.
It smells like I smell marijuana in the car.
I might be wrong on this, and definitely do correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know. I suppose, don't correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just going to ask you guys, is it not the case that you have to affirm your Fifth Amendment right? So you're kind of telling them that you plead the Fifth, or not. You don't have to say it in those words, but that I'd like to exercise my right to remain silent. Now, I might be wrong on that. Is it the case that you can just stay silent? I can't remember how that works. I do recall somebody saying that to me before, that you have to tell them you're going to exercise that right. But again, I might be wrong. Let me know what you guys think, because I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Let's say the police officer says, I smell marijuana. You don't have to answer. You can just show this to him and he can read it, or you can read these words. You can read this, officer. A police officer always asks you a question and we don't know the answers. We don't even know what to say. For instance, they say, don't film me. Because, filming police officers is very common nowadays.
Hey, listen, don't film me. I don't want to be filmed.
Right here, officer.
What does that say?
You can read it.
But I don't want to be on film. Listen, just do me a favor. Just open up your glove box right there. Let me take a look inside that glove.
Please, you can read this right here. Right here. And you have the right to film them, so that's why it is so helpful.
You know what? I think I'm gonna search this car, Mr. Mejia. I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna search this vehicle. I got probable cause because you're not answering any questions. I've asked you where you're going. I've asked you. I'm not accusing you of a crime. I'm asking you where you're going. Where are you going? Just tell me where you're going. Just tell me where you're going. This whole thing could be over.
If they ask for you,
Do you think that actually ever happens in a stop? I'm sure it has happened. Don't get me wrong, but like generally, they kind of tend to be way more chill than that, and they'll just be like, "Okay, you're not answering any questions, all right," and they're not going to generally claim that that's probable cause, because obviously that's not going to stand up in court. There's no doubt about it. Jay says, unless he has a filming permit or is on private property, he is impersonating an officer. Anytime a civilian can assume he is law enforcement, it's illegal, at least where I'm at. Okay, that's interesting. I wonder if anybody knows any more kind of, laws or whatever that cover that kind of thing. Do let me know. It's interesting. Not saying I'm going to call up and fucking rat on him or anything. Of course not. But you can clearly see that there are cars driving past. He may still be on, excuse me, he may still be on private property, but it's a tough one. Let me know if you guys know anything about that.
Going? Where are you going? Just tell me where you're going. Just tell me where you're going. This whole thing could be over.
if they ask for your ID, that's the first thing they do. You can answer this. The presence of a police officer in your life as an immigrant in the United States.
I just need to see your ID real fast.
Don't give him your ID.
Ma'am, he's not your lawyer. I need to see your ID.
Officer, read this. I don't understand anything about the laws. I don't understand anything about, the police system.
And again, after reading Chili's Trifold or being involved with him in any way, you know less now. Well done.
Let me have some ID, ma'am. Give me your ID.
No.
Give me your
ID. No.
Interrupting police is your right given by God. You get detained, you get arrested nowadays for everything.
Sir, you can film all you want, but I can't have you parked on the highway here.
I can park on the highway, officer.
So a lot of people are asking about the police uniform. It is one of those kind of stock uniforms. It just says police department on it. It doesn't say any particular police department or whatever. So I'm not really sure, again, what the legality of that is, but it seems to be fairly above board.
Can't you see you're impeding traffic right now? I need you to get off the highway.
I can park on the highway, officer.
Listen, I need you to get your van off the highway.
I love the way he hands it back to him like that, as if to say, you got me this time, sovereign citizen type person. It's like, no, that's not how that ever fucking works, is it, Chili? Never.
I can just tell them to read this, or I can read it for them. Officer, I revoke consent. You cannot search my car.
Let me see. Fine.
So this is helpful. It brings peace of mind to have this in my car with me, because I honestly don't know what to answer.
Okay, sir, it looks like...
Officer, you're trying to inspect my car for no reason. you, okay? You piece of
Watch your mouth or I will arrest
I don't have to watch my mouth, okay? I don't have to watch my mouth. If he says, for instance, watch your mouth, then this is the answer that you need to give him. 1971, going versus California, okay? By choosing these words, you get to know the depth of my feelings. You, officer. You're a piece of
Are you threatening?
That's not a threat.
How would that be considered a threat anyway? Like calling somebody a piece of shit, that's not a threat in anybody's eyes. Yeah, he might be legally allowed to say that stuff, sure. But it's not going to help you, is it? It really is not going to help. Like, I mean, I always say pass the attitude test. Doesn't cost anything to just pass the attitude. You might hate cops to the core. Just pass the attitude test. Just makes it easier for you and them. You know what I'm saying? You're just going to draw yourself into more shit by following these pieces of guidance. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
It's not a threat. This is what I tell them if they say, is this a threat? I read this to them, or I let them read it. 1942, Chaplinsky. I can and will use any word or set of words that I feel are appropriate. Fighting words are clearly not the words I'm using.
You have a great day, I guess. Sound like you're real happy, aren't you?
You too. So let's say if they ask me something I don't have to answer, I can just tell them to read this, or I can read it for them. And this is how you protect yourself. I usually just keep this in handy. I keep this in my car, and every time I get pulled over, this is like my best friend.
Good to hear, Kathy. Kathy says, as Irish Stephen Air Force, I want you to know that we are getting 5 F-22s. We got some saving to do. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you'd like to help buy one of those F-22s, make sure and hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends. Consider becoming a member or a Patreon, or dropping a tip in the F-22 Fund PayPal jar down below. Sláinte.